You know, Yarde, he primarily relies on throwing bombs. Are we going to see a little bit more of boxing David Benavidez for this one?
You know,
a little more of the boxing.
My first, you know, with every fighter it is, it's the more intelligent thing. Go in there, download a little bit of information. You know, obviously, if I see any openings, I'm gonna take them. But since Yarde is more of a one punch type of guy, so I'm looking to counter his shots, and you know, just to feel, get a feel to fight in the first rounds. You know what I mean? It's a 12-round fight. You know, it's not a sprint in the beginning, so we're gonna go in there and see. But if I definitely see some opportunities, I'm gonna take them.
I have another interesting bit of information about your opponent Yarde. The guy does little to no sparring. He relies on the heavy bag, you know, lifting weights, cardio, etc. What do you think of that philosophy, and would you advise that to any other upcoming prospect?
I mean, to each their own. You know, I don't really know how. I don't really care how other people work. But for me, for boxing,
have you ever heard of anybody?
I haven't heard that people that don't spar, but if he's not sparring for this fight, it's going to be a big mistake for him. I'm unlike any other fighter, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff I could do. I put a lot of pressure. I throw a lot of combinations. I'm fast. So if he's not sparring nobody, it's going to be hard for him to catch my speed or catch my timing. But you know, to each their own. You know what I mean? I know I'm not going to do that. You know, I don't advise other people not to spar. You know, if anything, that's where you learn all your tricks and all your skills at in sparring sessions, because you're going to need a body to throw back at you. You know, the punching bags don't punch back. So, but if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do.
Another question. This is a boxing question as a fan. Usyk, Crawford, Inoue. Best pound for pound. 1, 2, 3. How would you list those?
I think Usyk #1 without a doubt. I don't think nobody even comes close to Usyk because of the amount of big fights he's taken back to back to back to back. You know, even from when he was in cruiserweight, he was fighting the best fighters, and then you know he went to the heavyweight division, and nobody really gave him that much of a chance. He went and took everybody out. You know what I mean? So Usyk is first, turns Crawford because you know he beat. He did something that I didn't think he was gonna do. You know what I mean? He went and he beat Canelo. You know, that's 3 weight classes going up. You know what I mean? And he made it look pretty easy. So you have to give it to Crawford and then Inoue. I think if Inoue needs that big signature win. You know what I mean? Inoue is definitely he's a great pound for pound fighter, amazing fighter, amazing talent. But he still needs that signature win that really put him on the Mount Everest. But that's my pick. Usyk, Terence Crawford, and Inoue.
I like those picks.
What was most impressive from the Crawford win that you saw? What was most impressive? What impressed you the most from Crawford?
What impressed me the most was Crawford's ability to stay focused in the fight, and not only just to stay focused and box, but he also got rugged in there. You know what I mean? He started balling with him towards the late rounds. You know what I mean? That's something I appreciate in a fighter. You know what I mean? He was already up. He could have chose to just box, but he went in there and he tried to brawl with him in the last round. So that's really what impressed me. His heart more than anything impressed me.
I got just one, bro. So, Betterbiev being pulled from the card, probably trying to set up the trilogy with Bivol and then get you guys in the mix. What do you think about that, him being pulled from the card, and you know, the future of those three fights that you guys could have? So.
You know, it was a little bit unfortunate because I was really more excited for the fans, really, to have imagine Beterbiev being added onto that card. That would have probably been the card for history books. You know what I mean? But he has to do what he has to do. I think the thing about Beterbiev is that he's older and he trains hard. He does a lot of weightlifting, strength and conditioning, stuff like that. So that takes a toll on your body, especially when you lift the heavy weight. So I think he's just trying to make sure.
He's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah. So he's trying to make sure that he preserves himself enough for when that fight with Beterbiev.
Yeah. Champ, would you consider going up to cruiserweight to fight Jake Paul?
Wait, you got the W shorts on though.
I mean,
you got the
definitely. If they want to make the fight happen, I'd definitely go. If I got an offer to fight Jake Paul, I'd definitely go after it. But in my opinion,
would you move up to cruiserweight to fight somebody like a Badu Jack?
I'm looking for the opportunity to fight. We've been in talks of fighting Surdo Ramirez for his belts at cruiserweight. So we're already in talks of that, you know. And then that's definitely a fight that has to happen because I used to spar him when I was 18 years old. all the way, you know, I sparred him a lot, so I know that's a pay-per-view fight. So it was a pay-per-view sparring session, so the fight is going to be, you know, way better. But yeah, definitely, that's in my sights. You know, I definitely want to go up to cruiserweight. You know, I want to be a reigning defending champion at light heavyweight, and then make my way up to cruiserweight. But
I mean,
a fight with Jake Paul is not something that interests me. I mean, the only thing that would be good there was the money. You know what I mean? But it's not all about the money. You know, I'm in the sport I'm chasing greatness, and I want all the titles.
Do you walk around over 200 pounds? Or?
Like at 200, 205.
205?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So at light heavyweight, very big for that weight. One thing I was going to ask you. Oh, a lot of father-son relationships in boxing. You know, trainer, they don't work out. What's been the secret to you and your father working together?
I feel like a lot of the father-son relationships don't work out because the son gets tired of listening to the dad. But as for me, you know, I have all respect for my dad. If it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. And now that I got my own son, you know, I look at it like I gotta have the respect for my father. You know, I mean, we started this together, we're gonna end it together, and I think that leaves a good example for my son. You know, I'm planning on training my son in the future. So if there's ever any problems that me and my father have, you know, I want them to be fixed to make a great example for my son, because my son is going to have his own thoughts when he gets older. He's going to become a man when he gets older too. So I think if I show him an example that, you know what, just because you have disagreements doesn't mean that you should really totally abandon something. You know what I mean? So for me and my father, you know what I mean, we're men, we're two different men. We both have our different beliefs, but you know, at the end of the day, I'd rather not even box than to train with somebody else. You know what I mean? So me and my father, we've come this far, and we're going to end our careers together as well.
At the end of the day, why do you do this?
I do this because I chase greatness. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody has something special that they're meant to do in their life. What it is, you know, you have to find it yourself. For me, I felt like it was boxing. You know, boxing has given me, it's changed my life. It's made all my dreams come true, and it's helped me motivate other people in the process of that. So I feel like, you know, chasing greatness for myself and being in the history books of boxing is what I was meant to do, and also what I'm meant to do is motivate other people, just like how kids, you know, motivate kids, you know, that were just like me, who have my similar story, you know, that went through the same things I went through. You know what I mean? I was never in the beginning, I wasn't the first pick. You know, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the fastest, I was really overweight. But I went and I didn't give up on myself, and I made something out of myself. So I feel like just having that story can motivate other kids and other people to help them have belief in themselves and never give up on themselves either.
Absolutely.
You say you want to train your son. Do you want him to fight?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Looks like you fight already.
It's in our blood to fight. You know what I mean? And I want my legacy to be world champion, not only for myself but for my kids, for my whole bloodline. And I'm on the right path to putting them in that same position, because I feel like these dreams that my son sees that I became world champion and I could do it. I think that'll make it a little bit easier for him to have belief in himself, so he could do it for himself. You know, boxing is the hardest sport in the world. If he wants to go through with it or not, it's up to him. But you know, like you said, he's already a fighter. You know, he already has in his head that he wants to be world champion. So it's my duty to make sure I put him in position and put him, you know, give him the same training and do everything for him to make sure he makes his dream come true. Whether he wants to see it through, that's his option. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like he definitely wants to be world champion. So I'm going to be here to support him 100%.
Bro, and last one, you know, we covered it a little bit, but are you, since you've been down here in Miami, are you kind of excited to plant your flag and maybe bring some big fights to Miami and be the one to actually bring big fights to Miami?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're in good position to make that happen, and it's just like, it's amazing to me that there hasn't been really too much big boxing fights. I mean, there's other like exhibitions and stuff, but like real boxing fights, there hasn't really been none like that in a long time. So I feel like I'm the one that can make that happen. I can bring a lot of great boxing fights out here and bring the glory back of boxing to Miami. There's a lot of people here that love boxing. You know what I mean? I didn't really think it was a big boxing city until I came over here. So like everybody knows me, everybody's into boxing. It's just that I feel like, you know, I'm gonna take it upon myself to make that happen. But I definitely do see some very big fights of me in the future here in Miami.
And I think you can be the one to do it because
Yeah.
you're here and you know you're enjoying the city, so you can plant your flag here, and then you'll definitely bring the fight. So it's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
it's
good, bro.
definitely-
It's good timing.
See, when you go to a boxing fight, right? A lot of people go to Vegas. They go to Vegas to have fun. You know, they do everything else. You know, they enjoy the city in Vegas plus the boxing. So they kind of take it as one big trip. You know, they go to the club, they go to the restaurants, they go watch the fight at the end. In Miami, bro, there's everything here.
No,
There's clubs, there's restaurants, there's beaches. You know, so that's why I'm really amazed that there hasn't really been too much big boxing fights here. But I think we can make this the capital of boxing again. You know,
I think that
that's where people come. Not only do they see the fights, but they enjoy the city too.
And I think the timing of you coming is right because the timing of everything that happened, everybody started moving down here.
Yeah.
Now this is kind of like the new Vegas,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, exactly.
This is the new spot, so it's like now we can get boxing
Yeah.
going again here.
Exactly. So I'm very excited to be. I feel like everything happens at its time. Everything is perfect timing. So I'm excited to bring everything to the city.
One last question. A lot of people have been talking about UFC getting into boxing. They're adding to the Ali Act. A lot of boxers have talked about that. I just wanted your opinion on that situation.
Yeah, I think that shit that they're doing with the changing the Ali Act is straight bullshit. You know what I mean? And they're kind of going through. I think they already got through it in California. But it's fucked up because the Ali Act is for there to be full transparency from the promoter and the boxer, right? If you take that away, let's say they give $20 million for a boxing event, you know, the promoter could say, oh, there's only $500,000, $1 million. So, you know, the promoter, whoever it is already fucking over the fighters, you know what I mean?
Double dipping, bro.
Double
They're
dipping,
gonna double
you know what I mean?
dip.
So, I mean, I don't think that's right at all. I mean, I understand that these companies that they want to come in and take over all the pay and take all the money. But at the end of the day, the boxers, we're the ones putting our lives on the line, you know? And it's not fair to me, even if it's that much money, at least give the boxers 60, 50%. You know what I mean? They're trying to give us 10%. I'm not gonna say us because my company they treat me with a lot of respect. And, you know, we get the numbers we want. But if there's fighters that are not illiterate or they're not literate in the contracts, you know, that's really bad for fighters. You know, my advice to fighters is get a lawyer that's on your side. Don't get a lawyer that's for the company. Because at the end of the day, if you get a lawyer that's with the company, they're gonna try to fuck you over. You get your own lawyer. It's gonna cost you a little bit more, but in the long run, it's gonna work. It's the best thing you can do.
Thank you, bro.